something that becomes meaningless to your life. I will hold on to the teachings of the book of the Bible and the Quran, as I said. But as I want to have expressed, it's not. I don't choose this book because it's like it's got the honest truth to me. Now, I've seen it as a religious book, which I'm revealing things. I'm sort of unveiling the things that can lead us to that drowning state that really has trapped us into a situation that we can get out. That has given us the misguidance, that the forces, the delusion that we shouldn't be in. And it is clear here, if you read through the books, there isn't any secret to it. We are at Deuteronomy. If you read Deuteronomy 12, I think the last time we did is 11. Deuteronomy 12 will tell you that the topic is on, like, say, only one place of worship. This book also is seen as a book that is supposed to generate peace or bring some peaceful things to our life. I don't think so. Women in so many ways, in my way of viewing women, is quite not as it's probably be presented in the Bible. I may have gone along with certain things, but not necessarily everything. I've learned to know my views, and I've learned to sort of embrace it as a view which is, is practicable. It's practical, that you can sort of bring good things or bring good changes to life. I remember recently I made a big, I can chip this little idea in, I make a little video. And I was recent video of trying to express about the beauty of a woman, and the idea of comparing that in choosing in a relationship, in terms of choosing a man choosing a woman, or a woman choosing a man, that it doesn't matter that a man should be handsome. So also but in the terms of a woman, it does matter in a man's view to have a woman who is beautiful. Why would I say that? When you talk about pleasure and something which is pleasant, it does have to catch the eye. But there are two ways, because a human being is what we are talking about. The value of it is quite something unique. So if a woman is talking about a woman, a beautiful woman, the beauty must come within the inner beauty and the outer beauty. And I explain what I mean by inner beauty and outer beauty, which I strongly believe that. I've also touched on their side, which I think that the women who open their mouth or somehow come about to, if they don't necessarily have manners, or they've spent their life, agreeing in the idea of their fellow women being condemned as being prostitute, and they joyfully accept it because sort of they feel that it's a way to sort of put to shame their fellow women who do that, who they are describing in that manner, in order for them to stop. It's like if you intimidate them with those words, they will stop for what they are doing, because they feel that there are other people there are other women who are engaging in such word, as I would describe them to be prostitution, are disgracing the women, the pride of women and all that. That's fine. It's fine for people to say that. I mean, anything that you do it too much isn't necessarily good. So that's fine. But if it's in the basis or the fact that of the act that the people are doing, as long as they have way to do it, and they can endure it, and they can do it in a more decent manner, you have no right to condemn them, because it's all about decency and the ability that you have. Something that you cannot do that is beyond you can damage you. You shouldn't do it. If you feel that you're being damaged and it's not right, you don't have to do it. Abusing anything isn't right. It's sin to abuse yourself and to abuse others. But if it's not abusive to you and you're doing it and it's okay and you have a decent, then there is no problem at all in your life. You don't need to be worried about people, and no people should not even condemn you or judge you in any way. That's what I strongly had in my view. And I don't see where men should feel proud or sort of calling their fellow women as prostitute. And they say that girl is a prostitute, and if you're a girl, you are using the same word to another girl, even if she is a prostitute. Why would you do you think you feel right to use it against her? So I sort of thought I opened a video up and saying it. I made a video about it, and I sort of openly said that's what I think, that it wasn't right. And it's indeed not right for women to do that, or a woman to allow herself to fall into that trap of, accusing his other women in certain ways. Because realistically, most women haven't slept with just one man. So it's almost like you using one finger, pointing at somebody that is a prostitute. And you end up realizing that as I use my hand, you can see that you've got 3 fingers pointing at yourself. So even though you are judging that woman, you are judging yourself 3 times. You have judged yourself 3 times. This is just an analyzing. I'm trying to use that to analyze something to sort of tell you, unless you point this way. But normally you only point this way. People point with just one finger. So the rest of your fingers is pointing at you. And that is true. In that's the idea of what I'm trying to say to you, that if you're a woman, you condemn your other woman. Many times you have condemned yourself. Many times. The same thing with men. Men who choose to sort of condemn other men or put other men in a very awkward state, or give other men up only for the sake of a woman or for the sake of some money or riches and whatever. They have condemned themselves so many times. Some men sometimes expose certain things about themselves in certain ways, and making the whole the race of men, become some sort of awkward image, give an awkward image of men in certain ways that it affects the whole race of men. As they do that, it affects them. It might not hit you at that instance, because you will benefit at that instance as you do that, but your children, your generation, your family, after probably you are not there, they will face the heat. It becomes something that has been passed on, and it becomes a problem. The image of a man will be reduced. And sometimes that's happening if it's on the woman's side image will be reduced. Nobody wants that. We have to embrace and be proud of ourselves. So we must be able to encourage things that are very much naturally embraceable. So in that point, I make myself very, very clear. And I believe my video stood well on those grounds. And today I've touched a bit on the religious side and more on the religious leadership and the harm that it can do, And I believe that if a religious person leads away and he's doing something not right, the authority is God. It's not man. So you can't even say anything to him. You can't go and talk to the Pope anyhow you want to talk to the Pope. The only authority above the Pope is God. And you don't even know where God is, or Jehovah, where he is. If you go to the mosque the same way, Allah is the head. So the head of that mosque, why are you going to talk to? No. If you go to the politician, you can have the head over him. If the president of the country, fine, he's the president. Nobody is above the president, right? We accept. But the president can be impeached. You can't go and impeach the head of the leadership of a church and all that. You can impeach you can impeach the president and drop him off. Unless today, where advance has given room for us to be able to impeach the head of a church or the head of a mosque. I don't know if it can be done. But the Bible and the books, religious books, clearly gives them the right to rule in certain ways that they are untouchable. When they speak on behalf of the authority God, and that's it. As long as they get appointed there. Anyway, you and I have touched on those things. Now let's talk more, get more into the more serious part of it again. And as we read through, let's say, Deuteronomy 12, only one place of what? Worship. That is the title. These are the statutes These are the statutes and the